Okay, Matthew, there's been a restructure of the squads here underneath the first team. Can you explain what's going on?
Yeah, in terms of what we've got, 20s, 18s, 16s, we're now probably going to call them a development squad, because the fact is we don't really have any under 20s per se. We don't have a player that's over the age of 18 that's not in the first team squad. So we've looked at it and we were trying to get some different things working. We wanted it to be a little bit more fluid in terms of how we all work together, because it's a tough role. Obviously Peter Mullen and Neil McCullough have been doing a brilliant job at 20s level since I've been in. Neil has a massive skill set that I wanted to use more in terms of his ability to spot players, scout players, so I've asked him to step up to be chief scout for the whole football club. Then obviously that leaves Peter Light at that role, so we've asked Stephen Hynds and Dean Crowe to come in. They'd obviously stepped down from Hanover, been in conversations with them over the last couple of months, what way could we make it work. We feel getting them in there, and then we're getting a real strong kind of squad of coaches then below. Daniel Wright's come in as under 16 manager. We've Noel Cowan still there, so now I'm looking at it, I'm going, now I have a real strong structure in place below. Peter Mullen's obviously still there. He's going to be, I suppose, heading up lead development coach, if that's what you want to call it, for a better word. But basically then what that means is I'm going to Peter with certain plans, certain programs, certain players that maybe we want to work individual programs with. He's got that. It means then with Hyndsy and Dean, it gives them an extra responsibility in terms of maybe preparing the team for a match, if Peter's maybe looking after certain individual aspects of the play. And it just, for me, makes things a lot more professional, a lot more, as I said earlier, fluid in terms of what we want to get out of the young players, because we need to keep producing them. There's no point getting to the point we're at now and everybody's saying we're doing okay. We now need to make that better, and basically what we need is the fellas that are just below first team, we need them to be pushing the first teamers or overtaking them, and then the ones below that, they need to be pushing, and we need a continual cycle. We can't sit still at this football club. We can't just think, well, we're in the Premier League and we'll go out and sign loads of people. No, we need to keep producing, and not only producing, we need to produce better, because if we want to get better, everything below us has to be better. At the end of the day, I sit over there, everybody sees me, and I get plaudits or the abuse, whichever way around it comes, but without the structure below me, I can't do that. I can't pick the players. I don't get the opportunity to coach every single young footballer at this football club, but I think if we can put a good structure in place and a good pyramid of how it's going to work for the young ones filtering up right the way up to first team level, that then enables me to make my job a little bit easier, because at the end of the day it's still all about results at first team level, but for them their results are producing the players. And I think if we can get a real high quality coaching department right the way through the club, it certainly benefits. And that's the main reason behind bringing the guys in, the two guys that are here, and obviously Daniel with his expertise. He's come from Rectory, he's a young coach, but he's had a good background, he's been coaching for a long time. It means then gives them young players that the real top draw coaching. In terms of the two guys, what they're going to bring to us, obviously good coaches anyway, and they've had a real successful time at Hanover. I want them to bring that winning mentality to our young fellas, because we talk about development and a lot of it will be about technical and tactical work and how they do this, but sometimes young fellas need to know what it means to win a game of football, and we need to really push that and encourage that as well. And I think coming from their background of winning and used to winning, they'll enable that in the right manner. We've had loads and loads of good conversations. The problem we've had no football. We now need to get onto the training field as soon as possible. When we've got a start date for the season, that'll happen, and I think then we'll really see the youth and the younger development squad continue to grow with the football club.
Obviously with the emergence of Lee Bonus last year from the Middlesbrough football, is that going to be one of Neil's jobs, is going to find out the next Lee Bonus?
He's not under any pressure, but yeah, this is what we want. Look, like I've just spoke about developing our own. Developing our own is brilliant, but if there's somebody there like a Lee Bonus who maybe slips out of our net and goes away, then Neil's task, as well as mine, we have to go and identify players. But we want to be known now as the club to come to for young footballers, senior footballers. It might be a case on a Saturday Neil might go out and watch a championship game. If you remember last year, there would be scouts from pretty much every Premier League club watching our young players. What's to say we can't go and do that? And I want Neil to do that, and I want Neil to go and be the best chief scout in the whole country, and bring the best players to Portadown.
Okay guys, well first of all, welcome to Summer Park. Tell me how the whole thing sort of came about, Stephen.
Well, probably then after we handed the reins over at Hanover, the phone started ringing initially, and Matthew was one of the ones who contacted me, and after probably 2 or 3 meetings, finally on Saturday we got over the line and he sold the role to us, and we agreed to come on board.
Matthew sort of explained there the whole change of the sort of redevelopment of the development squad. Talk to me about your ambitions of having that squad and what you want to do with it.
Well, obviously going straight in, we know the players are there. There's good players, and having Neil there as well, in that role as the chief scout, bringing with this sort of remit to go identify players and bring players on board and improve that panel was important to us, and probably takes a lot of pressure off us as well, so we can go in and work predominantly with the players, develop the players, and work again with Peter as well, and work with that panel of sort of 24, 25 players to develop those, working between the 18s and 20s, and trying to create that pathway into the first team.
Obviously you had a real successful time at Hanover. Talk about that winning mentality that you're going to bring as well, and how everything sort of went in the end.
The big one for me, listen, I said it every day of the week when I was at Hanover, it doesn't change it even when you were a player, it's professionalism. To me, you have to have that professionalism around you from the moment you walk in as a young player, and training pitch, how you carry yourself off the pitch and stuff like that. And we really drilled that into our players. We're talking mid-Ulster players. It wasn't even a part-time job as you get up to Irish League level. So that they're coming in after a hard day's work and showing them that the wee extra bits of going the extra mile and maybe looking after themselves a bit better outside of the game, entails them to come in and be better players. So the winning mentality probably comes from the drive within yourself, and I've always been brought up that you want to win football matches. Probably a different role you're coming into. The emphasis isn't just about winning matches here, it's about developing players, and we feel that yes, they've got to come in and understand how to win and stuff like that there, but probably more so to develop themselves as a pathway through the first team. I think we all know this coronavirus, that there's going to be financial constraints in all of the clubs. There's going to be a lot of competition out there for the best young players, and now that all the teams are back up into their highest leagues and the highest leagues that they can go into, we've got to make sure that we hold on and maybe nip one or two from another couple of clubs and make sure you have the best people here who again when they come in will show them the best way to play football and obviously how to win football matches.
Obviously, Dean, as townsman yourself, there's bound to be a bit of pride of now representing your local football club.
Yeah, exactly, and knowing a lot of people involved in the club as well is appealing. We know Neil, we know people right through the youth setup. We know Trevor well, and we've over the past recent times we've got to know Matthew and we've got to know David Miskelly well as well. So working with those is definitely appealing to us, and we're here to learn, we're here to develop ourselves, and hopefully also then develop the players. So yeah, working in the local town is actually a bit of pressure, but again probably we've got good grounding from working just across the road as well, so hopefully that stands us in good stead going forward.
Well, all the best in your role at Shamrock Park, and I'll be speaking to you soon.
Thank you very
much.
Good man.